Honestly, I'm not really sure why I'm calling. It's just...
I'm having nightmares.
My husband and I, we're just fighting a lot.
I can't get any sleep.
Things just keep getting worse, and it's starting to feel like I can't do this by myself anymore.
We could use some help figuring things out.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you called. Why don't you tell me more about what's going on?
There's no wrong reason to reach out for crisis support. Whatever you're going through, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help. Visit veteranscrisisline.net to learn more.
Hello and welcome again to Oscar Mike Radio. I'm the host. I'm Travis. Oscar Mike Radio is part of the Hubazoo Network. You can find out more on hubazoo.com. I want to thank my sponsors, Joyce Asack of Asack Real Estate, Mark Holmes, Army veteran of Reapers Detailing and Power Washing. I want to thank my supporters, Semper Savage Salad Dressing, Bottom Gun Coffee, and Caisson Shaving Company. And I am excited for tonight because it's part of our countdown to 300. And it's taken a while. We'll get into this. But I am kind of live from the Middleborough VFW with my good friend, mentor, and cheerleader, Michelle Hamilton of Rolling Thunder Chapter 2. Welcome to Oscar Mike Radio.
Thank you, Travis. Thanks. I know we've tried to work this out for a while, haven't we?
Well, it doesn't help when you get hurt and we have COVID and we can't do this and we can't do...
Everybody's busy.
Everybody's busy, but she has sliced out time for me, and I am so blessed. So before we get into how we met and our little adventures, because there's a lot of them, you are a veteran, right, Michelle?
Yeah, shocking, right?
You can't assume, folks. You can't assume. So tell me a little bit about your service in the military.
So I joined the military directly out of high school. I graduated early. So I actually went in during the Vietnam era. My MOS, my job was physical activity specialist. So part of what I did as a job was the physical training in the pool, learning how to take off your boots, carry your stuff, hold your weapon. So that was really one of the biggest parts of my job. So a lot of my friends deployed. I had friends who still deployed to Vietnam. At that time, women didn't really deploy in those positions unless you were a nurse or whatever. So I was stateside, but I loved it. It gave me a lot of opportunities, opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had in life if it hadn't been for my military service.
So you do your military service, and did you ever save anybody's life? Because some of the guys can't swim.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Well, it was amazing in Marine Corps boot camp that all the guys that could, because I went to San Diego, there were no WMs there, all the guys that could run like gazelles, I mean, they were just, like the Flash, right? Couldn't swim. And they would sink, and it got very bad when they sunk, so it was a lot of funny. You do this, and you get out. How was your transition experience out of the military during that time?
You didn't talk about your military service. And if you were a female, you really didn't talk about your military service. So you didn't join an organization. I think for us, when we transitioned out of the military, there really wasn't a lot of out processing. There wasn't a lot of stuff that's available now. So that's a huge change, which is really a great change. When I got out, I worked at the VA hospital in Brockton. For a couple of years. Ended up going to college on the VA GI Bill.
Oh, wow.
So got my bachelor's at UMass Boston.
Do you actually use your GI Bill?
Yep, all of it. Every bit of it. Yep.
Well, good. So you did this, and now you operate your own business, right?
Well, I went on to get a master's degree after, I think I was like 43 years old, and totally different because my bachelor's degree was in political science and public policy management. So, yeah.
So when you tell me you're smarter than me, you actually are smarter than me.
I actually was going to be a lawyer.
Why am I not surprised?
But I had a friend who was a juvenile court judge, and I worked a summer for him, and I decided that that was not going to work for me because I wanted to work with kids, and the legal system is not about what's right, it's about what's the law, and I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. So I went into private industry, worked for a lot of years, worked my way up through the ranks. I was, when I left, the director of account preservation for Singular Wireless.
Oh, wow.
And that's when I decided I didn't want to do that anymore and decided I was going to go to acupuncture school. So
you like reinvented yourself like several times throughout your life.
Yep.
What's that been like?
I love it. I don't care. I have done what I wanted to do.
So you're doing all this.
Yep.
School, starting your own business. We can get into that.
I have kids in the middle of that.
Oh, just a couple of kids,
Yep.
right? And when did you start getting involved with, well, yeah, I'll come back to it. Your business. But I really want to dive into Rolling Thunder. And the reason I kind of want to dive into it is because, Memorial Day weekend's coming up and I've seen what you all do. So I just can't wait. I want to get to the good
I know,
stuff.
it's exciting.
It
Right?
is. So how did you get connected with that organization?
So where the place that everything started, really, where I started working on veterans causes and stuff was Paul Provencher was the veteran service officer for the town of Middleborough. And he came to me and he said, I think we need a women veterans memorial in the Memorial Park here in Middleborough, and I want you to be on the committee. And I want you to be the chairperson of the committee. And I have this other person, Nikki, and I think you're going to love her, and she's going to be on the committee too. So we got voluntold to do that. And it was so for me, it really started me back in the service piece. We had a fundraiser right here, a spaghetti supper, and the Legion helped us, and the VFW helped us, and we raised all the money in one night to put that memorial in. That's been 8 years ago
Okay.
now. So if you want to see it, it's in the veteran. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'll have to go see it. I didn't even know it was there.
Yeah, it's a we were a committee of 5. We started as a committee of 5, ended up as a committee of 4. We put that memorial in. The town did the Veterans Day parade. No, the Memorial Day parade that year for dedicating that memorial. And it was the biggest parade the town ever had. The beginning of the parade touched the end of the parade. When the parade started out, we had a Korean War female veteran. We had a World War II female veteran as our honored masters of ceremony. Yeah, it was fabulous. So that is so Paul Provencher really got me back going with working for veterans.
Okay.
After that, Pete and I both joined Rolling Thunder Mass Chapter 1. We were members there for a couple of years, and everything that we did as a chapter was in Boston, and we felt like, wait a minute, we really should, there wasn't much being done at the Brockton VA hospital, and we were like, we should start a chapter. So, so we did.
So what is Rolling Thunder? A lot of people think it's just a bunch of motorcycles going down the road,
Right.
waving the POW flag, and what's the big deal? But it's a lot more than that.
It's a lot
right?
more than that.
Okay.
We definitely advocate for prisoners of war and the missing in action, and we work with the families of the POWs and MIAs, but we also support veterans. So and as a chapter, every year we choose a cause. Last year, our cause was to work with homeless and transitional veterans. So we were able to provide them with the resources, with food, with during COVID, warm clothes and stuff like that. And we're very vigilant about how we spend our money. So we pay for our own business cards. We don't put that through the chapter. So every single penny that anybody donates goes to helping veterans, helping families. We put in POW MIA chairs various places. The town of Middleborough has one. This VFW, we donated one to. Mass One put one in Gillette Stadium. They're all over the place, and it's just a reminder to people that we still have 81,000 people missing.
I don't think a lot of people know that, and I think that's why it's important to be there. I mean, based on your service with POW MIAs and veterans in total, do the Vietnam veterans, are they getting the help they need and the advocacy they need still, or is it still lagging behind, do you think?
Well, I think the VA is overwhelmed at this point with the younger veterans and the older veterans. I think us, Vietnam veterans, we don't ask for services enough. Most of us wouldn't even think about doing that because of, I think, the history of being a Vietnam vet, maybe. But more and more are asking, and I speak with people all the time and vets about, hey, listen, these are the benefits and you're entitled to them. I had a Vietnam vet in my practice today. He was aboard ship and he's got very bad hearing, and he's struggled to, maintain a quality of life. He can't really hear very well, and hearing aids cost a lot of money. So he finally got an appointment at the VA for that, to get a disability rating, to be able to, get hearing aids. He's an older person. $6,000 is a lot of money.
Wow. I didn't realize they cost that much. One thing that kind of bothers me, and I ask everybody in that era, is it's my understanding that Vietnam veterans are actually dying at a faster rate than the Korean and World War II veterans are. And there's a real push to reach out and make sure these veterans are getting what they want. Do you find that to be true?
I think as a society overall, I think a lot of VSOs and a lot of organizations like Rolling Thunder are definitely reaching out to the Vietnam vets. There are opportunities for care that weren't there when we got out. So, a lot has changed. And I mean, anybody who wants to talk about that kind of stuff, I will talk to them. I have a female patient whose husband, he's in his 70s right now, and he just got diagnosed with cancer. Of course, Agent Orange cancers, has never used the VA system, and she was all upset, and she's calling me and messaging me, and I said, well, the first place you should go is talk to the VSO. See what they can help you with. If you don't get anywhere with that, go straight on to DAV. If you don't get anywhere with that, just let me know, because there's resources out there that we fail to recognize.
Yeah. So it's more than just 200 people on a Harley Davidson on a Sunday afternoon.
A lot more than that.
But that's what a lot of people think. And,
yeah.
And one of the things that we've talked about before that I want people to understand is, a couple of years ago, Rolling Thunder was pretty much barred from going to Washington, D.C. And that prompted a huge shift in how you all, collaborated and got together and celebrated, what Rolling Thunder is about. I was wondering if you'd go into that a little bit for me.
So what ended up happening was the leadership in Rolling Thunder decided that it was costing us hundreds of thousands of dollars for permits, for restrooms in Washington. So hundreds of thousands of dollars every year that we could better spend on veterans. So the decision was made as an organization that we would bring these demonstrations, because that's what it is. This is a demonstration to remind our...
So This is not a rally or a free-for-all. This is a demonstration.
Yeah,
Okay,
to
yeah.
remind people that we have 81,000 family members missing. You know, when you think about how exorbitant of a number that is. So as an organization, we decided we're not going to go to D.C. anymore. We spent a lot of money in D.C., and it was difficult for us. The police were not welcoming. The last year we went, we were turned around in the middle of the road and told to park our motorcycles front to back on the highway, which if you ride, you know that can't happen. So, yeah. So, and it was a lot of different things like that. So as an organization, we made the decision that maybe we need to go back to where we started. And so many POW families and now young veterans, they can't go to DC for that type of an event. So what if we do these regional rides, which is what we're doing now. So the ride that we have, which is Sunday, May 29th, leaving out of Plainridge Park Casino, going to the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall in Fall River, that ride encompasses all the New England chapters.
Oh, wow.
So Maine 1, Maine 2, New Hampshire 1, 2, and 3, Mass 1 and 2, and Rhode Island and Vermont.
No
So
kidding.
all of us now have grouped together to do this singular task.
Now, you all did this last year, right?
Yep.
The reason she's laughing is I wasn't riding, but it was raining.
Oh, it was horrendous rain. It rained from the time we left the house in the morning to the time we got back to the house at 7 o'clock at night. And I think we left the house probably at 7 o'clock in the morning. It rained nonstop. But I had a few brand new chapter members. They were there.
They were.
And I was so proud of them. I was like, you guys are unbelievable. You're brand new, no patches, brand new.
So share with me. Do you have to be a veteran to join your chapter?
Nope, you don't have to be a
Okay.
veteran to join any Rolling Thunder chapter.
Okay. Because I think there's a lot of civilians out there that are really leery about trying to interact with veterans organizations. And a lot of them are like, yeah, I can do this. So
They're patriots.
Yeah, they're patriots.
I think we should feel honored that they would take up our cause.
I think we need them. So you don't have to be a veteran.
Nope, you don't have to ride a motorcycle.
You don't have to ride a motorcycle either.
Nope.
Okay. So I want to join your chapter. Kind of break down what's the process, because the other thing I kind of want to go over is some people, rightly or wrongly, think that this is a motorcycle gang or club, and that's not it either, from what I understand.
Right, no, we're not anything like that. So what Rolling Thunder is an organization of like-minded individuals who care about veterans, care about prisoners of war and the missing in action, and want to make a difference in their community. That, in essence, is who we are and what we do. Rolling Thunder has 90 chapters nationwide. We all follow the same rules. We all have the same constitution. Well, you know, each chapter, I'm sure, has its own little personality. We're lucky in this chapter. We have young people. We have older people. We have Vietnam vets. We have Iraq, Afghani vets. We have quite a few female veterans.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of civilians, too. And everybody interacts the same exact way. So, I feel like our civilian members are even better than we are because they took this mission up. For us, as veterans, this mission is an easy one to pick up, right? Because it's part of our DNA. It's who we are. But when you're a civilian who's not been trained, as we have been, to think a lot about, wow, those guys are really having a hard time. I really am worried about the veterans who commit suicide and veteran homelessness. And what about those families? How does this touch society overall? I just think those people are truly heroes to me.
It certainly helps out because a lot of times, a lot of us veterans feel alone or we don't matter, and it's hard getting people to understand what we're doing. So you don't have to be a veteran.
Nope.
You don't have to own a motorcycle.
Nope.
you can be a female, male, or anything, right?
We have junior members too, young people.
It's great to see, because I've been to some of these events, and yeah, there's like
Babies, kids.
Oh, you
yeah.
guys start them young. I mean,
Yep.
and they come in here, and what's that they apply, right?
So what happens is our meetings are open to the public, and our meetings are the last Sunday of the month here at the VFW in Middleborough, right?
Okay.
Anybody can come and check us out, and they're welcome to. Come to a meeting, check it out. Come to some of our events if you want to. See if this fits for you. Then you fill out an application. That application becomes, goes to the chapter. We send it to Rolling Thunder National as well. Veteran, not veteran, it doesn't matter. And after a period of time, what happens is you earn patches, right? So you become a chapter member, and 3 to 6 months later, you got your boot patch, you're for real. And then a year after that, you earn your back patches. So, I mean, it's a big deal. We make a big deal out of it when people earn their patches, because let me tell you what, as a unit, as a chapter, we do a lot.
Yeah, you do.
And for anybody to fit in, they're going to do a lot, but we do a lot of fun things too. One of our members suggested, hey, after Memorial Day, why don't we all go to the movies? Let's go see Top Gun. Harley in. So I put a message out to the chapter, and everybody was like, yeah, I want to go, we'll go. So, we have a lot of people who work Saturdays, so we're going to go Sunday.
Awesome.
So if you want to be part of a group of people like that, you have to put the time in.
Yeah.
But we try to make it fun.
So making it fun is, I've gone to some of your events. I've gone to some of the events where you all have been working, and everybody is pulling together. Everybody's having fun, and everybody kind of gets along. It's like a really cool thing. And so, talking with you, you've shared that a lot of this comes down to leadership at the, individual and team level. So just kind of tell me here, how do you lead? How do you lead, Michelle?
I like to include everybody. I think it's important. If you join an organization, I think you want to participate. So we try to have people participate. Sometimes in the beginning, they're a little bit quiet and they're afraid to say, so they get voluntold a lot to do certain things. Yes, I do voluntold. Actually, my secretary got voluntold for that position. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I'm difficult, I'm sure.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I mean, I can be that way, but sometimes, look, the decisions need to be made on a chapter level. They need to be made for the best good of the chapter. It can't always be what I want, and sometimes I have to say, okay, well, that's what everybody wants to do. I don't like those shirts, but that's the shirts we're going to get. Fine. And sometimes I have to say, no, we're not going to do that, because it's not for the good of the chapter. I think the Constitution that Rolling Thunder has makes it very clear what you can do and what you can't do. So it makes it a little bit easier to be in a leadership position, because if the Constitution says you can't, I'm sorry, you can't.
Right.
I mean, there's various positions in the chapter. I'm lucky that I have a great vice president, a great treasurer, a great secretary, a great board. Nobody, I do. And nobody, we have discussions certainly about things, about how we're going to spend our money, about leadership roles, about who needs to do what. But we really are lucky. We communicate very well. And awesome. I think that's the key.
So it's an aspect of, taking ownership. Oh, the Sergeant of Arms. Did you forget him on purpose?
Yeah, him. He doesn't want to be on TV, so bye.
Runs a tough ship.
No,
we thank the Sergeant of Arms for keeping order.
He does keep order. I mean, honestly, they work so well together as a team right now. It makes my life so easy. So easy. And if I ask somebody to do something, I don't have to ask them 4 or 5 times. They take care of business.
So let's talk about 2 events that we kind of did together. Let's talk about the Christmas party.
Yep. The Santa party?
The Santa party. Yes, the Santa party. And that was a very interesting morning to me because, we're in Bridgewater. It is absolutely cold and freezing outside, which is, by the way, folks, she absolutely loves the cold, can't get enough of it at all. It's fantastic.
I hate it. I hate it.
I wouldn't know how I knew that.
Yeah, you know. I hate it.
And we're waiting to get in, which just,
Oh my God, yeah.
But it was really interesting just because I'm kind of observing, taking some pictures, and pretty much all your people showed up on time. We're ready to go, and I'm just like, stuff's getting done.
They just pulled everything in. The kitchen people knew they were working in the kitchen, and they started going. Everybody else started setting up the tables. We had toys for the children and had to set up Santa's area. Yep. I'm making coffee, I'm doing this. I think a big part of how everybody works together is we don't care what job we do, we're just going to do the job. And if you're having trouble making the coffee, I'm going to help you. And if the guys in the kitchen are falling behind, somebody's going to go in there and help them. I mean, teamwork, that's the way it's supposed to be. Nobody can, I can pick up the trash. If I can pick up the trash, so can everybody else.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not just seeing you sitting there directing traffic and, dictating. You're right there putting up Christmas lights and, making Christmas directions and spooning food out, and it's just getting done.
Yep.
It's just getting done.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yep. It's easy that way.
Okay. Well, a lot of people, that it can get very frustrating trying to get all the cats herd in the right way, and it just doesn't. I noticed, at this event, which raised a lot of money.
We raised a lot of money, and the kids had so much fun.
And I was really happy that, the local politician came out and some of the business owners came out to see what you
gave
all...
us a donation.
Yeah,
yep.
It was really okay, people still care.
Yep, they do. And if you just talk about things, if you ask if you ask what's the worst that can happen, people will say no. Then you can just ask them again later, because maybe today wasn't a good day. Maybe tomorrow's a better day. My business is having a hard time. I can't donate a raffle item this year, but come back next year. And you go back next year, and guess what? They're doing better. You have to help the community around you. You have to support each other.
Absolutely. Talk about support. I mean, last year, I'm on crutches, we won't get into that, but you guys came out and supported Wild Hearts Therapeutic Equestrian Program and the car show that Mark Vorner put on for Veterans Development Corporation. And it's August, it's hot.
It was hot.
Which
even I thought it was hot.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Let me tell you. But there again, everybody was on time. You put up your, pavilion, and you were talking to people about their stuff. There were some Vietnam veterans there you all talked to, took some good pictures, and it was just that you were there. Do you think there's an aspect that we as veterans need to understand that in order to get the advocacy we need, we have to be there?
You have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
I think you don't have a choice. And a lot of times we will self-isolate. It's what we do. I don't know what to say about that other than it is what we do. And, it's not easy to get out and talk to people, but once you start doing it, I think it's easier every single time. This Memorial Day weekend, we're doing a rededicating the POW chair at Plainridge Park Casino, and I have one of my newer members who only has a boot patch who is going to speak about the POW chair.
Oh, wow.
And another newer member who's going to lead everybody in the pledge and talk about the POW cage. So we don't always have the same people speak, and the more times you do it, the better you're going to get at it. And, you're going to make mistakes. So what? We're here for you.
So did you make that choice, or the leadership make that choice to, get the new people involved?
Well, we talked about it at our chapter meeting, and there was interest. And I was like, hey, how about you? You want to do that? Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
So, you know, and I like the idea of our newer members doing those things because it just makes everybody more able to talk about it.
Good, good, good. So you're doing all this with Rolling Thunder, and you're running a business at the same time.
Yep.
This is what I love about Michelle. It's just like, yeah, it's no big deal. What are you getting all excited for? But it's kind of funny, right? A lot of times I meet veterans, and we've had to reinvent ourselves 2, 3, even 6 times in our
Right.
career, right? And nothing against our civilian counterparts and peers.
You learn how to adapt better when you're a veteran, I think.
Well, they typically don't unless they have to, but it's something that you just decided to do. Where do you think that comes from us?
Boy, I don't know. We were talking about that the other night, talking about, oh, let's move, go someplace else. Now, my husband's from here, and he's only ever lived here. I've lived all over the place. So for me, I'm like, okay, let's go. You know, so I'm like, what does make us different in that way? You know, if you need a job, you get a job, right?
Right.
You don't worry about it. You're going to get a job. Maybe we have a stronger mental outlook. I don't know. I just know, like, of course life changes. Of course we do different things. It's to be expected. And if you sit in the same place all the time, you're never going to grow as a person.
Right.
So, yeah, adapt and overcome.
Well, speaking of adaptation, you were running a small business during the COVID, times, and your business is very interpersonal.
Yep.
How did you adjust around that?
Well, it was definitely a transition because when you do acupuncture on patients, obviously you're face to face. And I have a very distinct patient population. I treat a lot of veterans, of course, but a lot of stroke and traumatic brain injury patients who couldn't not have care during COVID. So everything was shut down. How are you going to take care of those kinds of patients? So I did. I had and we had this discussion about, I do herbal medicine too. So I have a master's degree in acupuncture. I also have one in Chinese herbal medicine. So a lot of patients went on herbal formulas, and that sustained my practice during COVID.
Okay.
So I was very lucky. Yeah. Yep.
So I got to ask this.
Do the needles hurt?
Well, I mean,
You see Travis's size, you see my size. That is hilarious to me.
you put metallic objects in people, and they come back for more.
Because it helps.
It does.
It helps, yeah. I've had a lot of younger veterans, a lot of older veterans. I treat a lot of pediatric patients in wheelchairs and stuff like that too. So I have a very distinct patient population. A lot of people think about acupuncture for back pain, but that's not all it is. So I treat a lot of very interesting patients. And it's long-term care, so I really enjoy it. You really have a relationship with the patients, and I enjoy that too. Yeah.
I guess it works. Nothing personal.
I've had people who've been with me for 14 years as patients. So, yeah.
Nothing personal, but I just don't know if I could let you.
I should have brought some needles.
I would have to be in like.
You could do it. Even with the children, at first children are afraid of the needles, right?
Justifiably so.
Because what you think of as a needle is what the doctor uses. What I use is so thin gauge, and it's not hollow, it's solid. So when you insert that needle, it pushes everything out of the way. You're not hacking a chunk of skin out of a person, right? And inevitably, at first, kids will be like, well, there's different things you can do besides just needles. Every single child I have ever treated has been like, will you needle me today? Every single child. And they're all like, really? Oh, when are you going to needle me? I already did. Oh, you did? Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a bit of a reaction from time to time on a specific acupuncture point, but basically it is pain-free.
We will take her at her word, ladies and gentlemen. I can't verify, nor will I.
Next time I'll bring needles. Yes.
But I think it's very cool that you've been able to build this business over a long period of time, develop this relationship with people. And it has to be rewarding to see this work, and it's something that you just wanted to do and did it. And so many times, you know, our peers, our sibling veterans are really apprehensive about starting something new. And there's a lot
it's
of
scary, right?
Yeah, a lot of risk there. You know, what would you tell them about, facing that risk?
I think if you don't try, you never know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had a really good job, and I said, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going back to school. And they said, well, what can we do to get you to stay? We'll give you more money. It was never about the money. It's about personal satisfaction. So,
Do you get a real sense of satisfaction? Do you feel something when you see a patient or client say, yeah, I'm in less pain or no
Yeah.
pain? Yeah.
I mean, I had a pediatric patient who had leukemia.
Oh, wow.
And he had a lot of pain. And those children are on chemo for years. So, because, that's the protocol. And he had just a lot of pain. And we did acupuncture, and he did well. He, came every couple of weeks and stuff on a regular schedule. He went to see his oncologist, and he said, so how you doing? And he told him, and he said to the doctor, why didn't you tell me about this a long time ago? Only a child, right?
Right.
And the doctor said, I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
And I ran into him. He's an adult now. Ran into him in the post office, and he said, hey, Michelle, it's me, Kevin. And I said, Kevin, I would have never recognized you. And he said, why not? And I said, because you're healthy. So, yeah, he's a grown person now, doing his own business, training people, and healthy. So that's pretty satisfying.
Awesome. Awesome. So we have Memorial Day coming up.
Yes, we do.
You have every New England chapter coming to the Plainville Casino.
Yep.
And then going to the Fall River.
Yep. So Friday night, we're going to go wash the wall in Fall River at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall, which, if people don't know, it's an 80% replica of the wall in Washington, D.C. It's gorgeous. So in preparation for Memorial Day, Friday, we're going to go wash the wall. And probably I'll go for dinner and just nice. Saturday night, we're going to have a candlelight vigil for the Gold Star families at the wall, right around 8 o'clock, dusk. So we will all gather as the chapters and ride down to Fall River. New Hampshire 1 is running that event. So we'll all go down there and honor the families as best as we can at that park. And then get up early Sunday morning, go to Plainville, set up at the casino. We're going to have motorcycles, we're going to have cars and trucks and other vehicles too, which is a distinct change this year. Since we're not a motorcycle group, we decided as a committee that we would invite other vehicles to participate.
Oh, nice.
And the casino has opened that up. We have overflow parking at the Peterbilt up the street, and we're all going to ride down to Plainridge Fall River through the towns of Somerset and I'm not good with directions, so I'll just say whatever.
Okay.
It's a nice about an hour ride. We'll park the bikes. There'll be a ceremony at the wall. We'll be laying a wreath at the Vietnam Wall. They're also going to lay wreaths because if you've never been to that park, it's beautiful. There's an Iwo Jima Memorial.
I've seen the Iwo Jima Memorial.
A Gold Star Family Memorial. A Korean War Veterans Memorial. So they'll lay wreaths at all the memorials, and then we'll get together afterwards and have a party.
Nice.
Because we need a break.
Well, I think coming last year and seeing what went on and how you all did it, it brought back the word memorial and Memorial Day. And, I want to ask you this. Sometimes I get really irritated hearing about the Memorial Day sales and specials and, it's the unofficial start of summer. I'm like, no, it's not.
Lost sight of the mission. The mission's about those families. Yep.
These people who didn't come back.
Yep. Yeah.
And you know, I don't get mad like some of my other fellow veterans that, you know, someone will say, you know,
Thank you for your service
I
on
don't,
Memorial Day.
I don't get mad. And someone asks me why, and I just kind of want to get your take on this. I'm like, just the fact that they're trying.
Well, plus if you say, hey, I really appreciate that. However, today's not about me. I mean, if you do it nicely and help people to understand, that's the way people learn. Oh gosh, I thought, you know, that was the right thing to do. Well, no, you know, it's not about me today. It's about the families who don't have their family member there. You know, in my chapter, we have a sister whose brother's name is on the wall. He's missing from Vietnam. And last year, it was just, I mean, I lost it because she laid a rose at his name. And she never had that opportunity before. You know, when you meet those families, 81,000 seems like an unbelievable number of people. You know, it's a sister, it's a brother, it's an auntie. I have another friend whose mother's brother, so her uncle, is missing from Korea, and the mother still can't talk about it.
Wow.
So, you know, we had the POW flag that went across the whole United States, and I invited her, and she said, yeah, my mom can't do it. So if you think it's not a pertinent issue today, yeah, it is. We may not have veterans missing from Iraq and Afghanistan, but look at those other families. You know, it becomes a part of the family DNA.
It does. It does. I mean, we both know the Fitz family, you know,
Yeah.
and how that affected
And
him.
he's lucky that his father came home.
Yeah. But what happened to him all those years that they didn't know?
That they didn't know. It
You're
changed
right.
his life.
Changed his life. It left a whole mark, and that's not going to go away for a while.
Yep.
So I am with Michelle Hamilton, president of Rolling Thunder Chapter 2. I know some people in Chapter 1 in Massachusetts, don't want to forget about them. And I just think it's really special to talk about, you know, Rolling Thunder, her story during this time of you know, Memorial Day and memory. And I guess, you know, as we kind of wind down here, what's next for you all in this year in 2023? Are you that far ahead?
Yeah, we schedule our year before January, so we already know everything that we're doing this year. Like Sunday, we're going to be at Reedy's for a pig roast with our quartermaster's table. The following weekend, we're going to be at Boston Wounded Vet to help, you know, those severely wounded veterans. Then we've got Memorial Day. Then we're going to a movie. You know, the chapter is going to do, we just did our Mardi Gras party, which is our big fundraiser for the year.
Oh, that food was good.
We're definitely doing Santa again. In October, we've got Hogs for Heroes, which is an event that we do at the Citizens Club in West Bridgewater or Bridgewater. I forget which one it is. I think it's Bridgewater.
I think it's Bridgewater, yeah.
So, yeah, we're busy. When people ask us last minute, hey, can you guys, you know, do this? We're like, yeah, no, we're already scheduled. And in between that, we have, you know, we go to funerals to pay, you know, honor to the fallen and stuff like that when we can. So there's always something. There's always something to do. And we're lucky that we have so many talented people in the chapter that we can go 2 or 3 different places at a time and represent well.
Well, that was the thing at the car show. You're like, yeah, we're here, but we've got other people in like down at the Cape and one other place, and you know, everything was being coordinated and done. And I'm like, you know, if I could get my kids to do this, it'd be a fantastic day. But I mean, it was just, it seemed effortless.
It's a lot of work in the background, I'll tell you that right now. Like Memorial Day will be good because of all the time and due diligence that we've done. I mean, I'm committee chairperson with Brian from Mass Chapter 1. He's probably sick of talking to me by now, I'm sure. Like but it's every day something. But that's how you have a good organization. And if you keep the mission in the forefront, I think you can't go wrong.
This is just amazing. You know, I've known Michelle for quite some time, and she has counseled me about leadership issues with things I've done. Very thankful for that, by the way. And we've had some fun times on the 3D archery course, and where I've learned about her temperature operating levels.
Yeah, I don't like the cold. My hands can't operate a bow and arrow in the cold like that. Not going to happen.
We just go in the summertime. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
fine. Yep.
Absolutely.
It's good.
Absolutely. But, you know, I've always learned so much. And one thing I can say to you, if you're thinking about, you know, join an organization like this, is you won't be bored.
You won't be bored.
You won't be alone.
Nope.
And you'll have plenty to do. And you'll meet some really cool people who are both veterans and non-veterans. And if you ride a motorcycle, that's great. And you're just going to have a lot of fun. And I always enjoy getting to hang out with you all.
And, you know, we support each other. I mean, we've had some stuff. We've had one of our chapter members two of them passed away. That was tough for us, really tough for us as a group. We've had grave illnesses in the chapter. You know, but if you lift each other up and take care of each other, you know, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
You know, we've gone through some stuff. See, I didn't even swear.
You're so good. You're so good.
But we've gone through stuff, and I think it bonds us closer together. You know, they know they can count on each other. If you have a problem, you can call. If you're open to that, I think it makes it a little bit easier for people.
Well, how can people find out more about Rolling Thunder Chapter 2 and Rolling Thunder in general?
So if you're interested in Rolling Thunder in a different place besides Massachusetts, you can always go on the Rolling Thunder National website. It lists all the chapters in all the states, phone numbers, email addresses, how to get a hold of people. They do have all the events listed up there too. So all the regional rides are on there, which is a good thing. Our chapter, you can hook into our Facebook page, Rolling Thunder Incorporated Mass Chapter 2. Mass Chapter 1 has a Facebook page just like that too. I don't mind if people call my Rolling Thunder phone, which is 774-766-9214. And I have a really long email address.
Well, I will have the email address,
Good.
The links, and the contact info in the Oscar Mike Radio show post. So no matter where you are in the world, you can find out more and about Rolling Thunder, maybe join or, you know, contribute some way to the work they all do.
Yep.
Awesome.
Good
Awesome.
things.
Well, we're going to talk again. I'm going to be hanging out with Rolling Thunder Chapter 2 during the Memorial Day event they have. They've asked me to come along and check it out. I'm really grateful for that. I've had a fantastic time talking with you.
We always
Michelle.
have fun, Travis.
We do.
Thank
we do.
you so much.
No
I
problem at all.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as we say in Oscar Mike Radio, we are mission flight. They're going to be rolling heavy. I can't wait. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Travis.
I want to thank you for joining me and watching Oscar Mike Radio. Now go to OscarMikeRadio.com and click shop to check out all the cool merchandise from Authentically American. All proceeds go to veteran service organizations. We are mission in flight.